What's up, guys? It's your boy on bikes. We are back today. It is February. There is snow on the ground. I've got a bunch of throwback videos coming up. I'm gonna do a whole series of them throughout the next couple weeks, because I do have some older videos where I was using my old GoPro rig, not the one I'm using now with the Icon. I have an older GoPro rig where I had the camera mounted on the front of the helmet, and which was cool, but the helmet itself was just not very quiet and stuff for recording with a microphone. And I was really kind of a noob to Final Cut and all that, and editing and stuff like that. So I just never posted them. But now I've kind of got my Final Cut skills up to snuff, if you will. What's up, big food truck? And so I'm bringing those videos back. I'm gonna try and clean up the audio as best I can in post. So I guess without further ado, let's get to it. Here you go.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy on bikes. I'm doing a review today, and I got a 1995 Suzuki Intruder VS800. That's what it is. This is a sweet old bike, man. This thing is so cool. It's got these little drag bars on it. It's got they come with mid controls from the factory. I've seen them with forward controls. This one has mid controls. I'm kind of a taller dude. I'm about 5'11". And it's not bad. The drag bars make it a little bit, I'm a little hunched over, but it really puts me in this kind of sporty muscle bike stance where I feel like I really have control over the bike, you know? So I don't mind it. It's a nice little back road cruiser. It's definitely big enough for a grown man. I can feel a little bit of heat coming off of the engine on my feet here, which is something a little different, but it's not bad. I put a few miles on this bike. It is at full operating temperature. Not that you guys care. But yeah, it is. So I mean, if that's going to be a concern, yeah, it might be something to think about. Feel a little bit of heat, but it's not bad. It's not hot, but I can definitely feel the warmth coming off of these pipes here. But it's not. It's definitely not. I don't feel like it's gonna burn me or anything like that. It's first impressions. It's real comfortable, actually. The seat's not bad. The suspension is nice. The seat height is not the shortest in the world. You know, I know most guys are like, yeah, 800 V twin is a girl's bike. Maybe it is, but honestly, like for a lot of girls, the seat height might be a little tall for them to be able to swing their leg over and flat foot this thing. So that's something to consider. But I mean, once you're on it, as long as you can comfortably touch one foot to the ground, you're all right. So I wouldn't worry about that. You know, if you're a girl and you're looking at one of these as your first bike or whatever, or if you're looking to upgrade to something like this could be a good upgrade from like a Honda Rebel or something like that. I wouldn't think twice about it. I'd definitely go check it out for sure. It's got a nice sound to it. It's got these drag bars, which are cool. It's got these aftermarket mirrors, which are cool. They're real short this way, but I actually have really good field of view out of them. I can see quite a bit in these little mirrors, and this thing runs great. It runs really good, actually, and I'm gonna stop up here and we'll take a walk around it. We'll check it out. One thing I noticed about this bike, it's got real short gears. And I'll talk a little bit more about that once we get going. Oh, I don't always do that. Yeah, man, Intruder 800.
It's got these big long pipes on it, which are cool. It sounds good. It's so I'm really surprised how snappy that engine is. It is liquid cooled. It's overhead cam. It's got 4 valves per cylinder. And it rides really nice. These bags aren't bad. You can fit bags on it, no problem. I know the guy that rides this, takes his wife on it. They ride 2 up on it a lot. It's definitely big enough for that. Nice looking bike, man. It's lightweight. Turn the choke off. I had the choke on. It's lightweight. It's very, very manageable at low speeds. But you can see what I mean though, that the gears are really short. And I'm in 5th right there. And this thing will just cruise in 5th gear all day long. You could go through town in 5th gear. Actually, I'll slow down. I'll slow down to 35. And I'm still in 5th gear. And I can roll on the power. And now we're doing 60. Well, I'm doing 55 now, but I was doing 60. So you know what I'm saying? So you see what I mean? It's got short gears, but I mean you can pretty much just drop it in high gear and cruise pretty much anywhere you gotta go with this thing. I like it. I think this would be a great bike for a beginner. You know, it would be a great upgrade for somebody who started on something smaller. And these things are so attainable. I mean, these bikes, especially the older ones, you can find these for under $2,000. You know, and if you find like a really, really, really nice one, because they made these up into like the 2000s, I believe. You know, if you find a really, really nice newer one, you know, you're probably not going to spend more than $3,000 on it, I wouldn't think. This bike's got 19,000 miles and change on it, and I tell you, man, it's tip-top. I've got no complaints with it. This would be a great bike for anybody who's looking to get into riding for cheap, and be a great bike for anybody who's looking into getting something bigger than what they already have. And you know, I mean, I guess if I'm gonna be honest, it'd be a good bike for a girl. It's real lightweight, man. It's easy to handle. It's easy to handle at low speeds, and you know, it's definitely it's a good bike for pretty much anybody, I would think. You know, if you're not real tall, if you're not a real muscular dude, you know, this is going to be a real easy bike for you to handle. If you're a bigger dude, this bike will still fit you just fine. You're not going to look like a giant on it. It's definitely big enough for a man, for an American man. But yeah, man, if you're looking at getting an older Japanese cruiser, I wouldn't worry about it, especially if you're looking into getting one of these older Suzuki Intruders. You know, you can get the 1400. This is the 800, and it's got plenty of power. And this, believe it or not, this engine absolutely screams. I'm going to get on it for a second. I'm going to drop a couple gears and get on it. I think but you can see what I mean. If you ring it out, it makes lots of power up there on the top end. This bike is not slow, but you can ride it slow and still have lots of fun on it. It doesn't run like a high-strung bike that wants to be raced all the time. I'm actually really impressed at how quick this bike is. This thing is so quick. Like, if I was going to pass somebody,
thing is an absolute screamer. I can't believe it. If you are looking at one of these, if you found one of these, first of all, I wouldn't pay much more than $2,000 for it if I were you. Just because it's, I mean, this thing's 20 years old. It's over 20 years old, 23 years old. You know what I mean? And it's got 20,000 miles on it, and it does run great. It's got 2 carburetors, it's liquid cooled, it's overhead cam, it's all the good stuff. And this engine absolutely rips. This thing screams. I haven't found a rev limiter yet, but I would assume that it's somewhere to the tune of about 8,000 RPM. If you're worried about whether or not this bike is American enough for you, I wouldn't worry about it at all, because this thing is an absolute performer. It does handle nice, it handles real nice. I'm that impressed with it. It's a 23-year-old Japanese motorcycle, and it just runs like crazy. It's got all the power right now. At highway speeds, I didn't even downshift. And on that acceleration run earlier, I did not even downshift. All I did was roll into it in 5th gear. This thing sounds good too, man. It sounds awesome. We'll stop at the stop sign so you can hear it. It's got a good sound, man. But anyway, thanks for coming back. I've been your boy on bikes. Don't forget to share, comment, and subscribe. Keep the rubber side down, and I'll see you next time.
Alright guys, we're back. I hope you enjoyed that review of the Suzuki Intruder VS800. It was a fun review to do. I actually know the owner of that bike. I've had major experience with that particular bike. I've ridden a few of the Intruder 800s, and they're great bikes. If I missed anything specs wise, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. If you have any questions about anything I may not have mentioned about the bike, please feel free to ask me in the comments below. I will reply either via a text reply or a video reply, if depending on what the question is and you know what kind of an answer it warrants. Till next time, this has been fun. You guys have been great, and we'll catch you later.